order. We'll start with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome everybody to the November 4th general meeting of the Southampton Town Trustees. Welcome to the folks that are taking their time out on Zoom to watch us. I will ask the Secretary Treasurer to please call the roll.
All right. Scott Horowitz.
I'm present.
Ed Warner. Here. Richard T. Marin.
Here.
Here. Joe McLaughlin.
Here.
Here. And Matt Parsons.
Present.
All right.
President, we're all here.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, everybody. We're here, and next meeting will be November 18th, 2024, 9:30 a.m. will be our work session, followed at 1 o'clock by our general session, just so that the public is aware if they want to attend, just participate. There was some communications that were sent to all of you.
Can I waive those because we've all got copies in our boxes?
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll send some reading those into the records. You all have that. We do have some discussions on here. First one is myself and Trustee Warner about the meeting date schedule. Jessica, I want to thank you for preparing that. I believe you kept with the tradition that the board has always had.
Yes.
I think it's acceptable. I mean, I think you did a great job.
Yeah, I like these. They even include lunch breaks on them.
Yeah,
Something
we
that-
never take it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we never get to take. We're so darn busy.
Yes.
And I think that's good, and
Yes.
I would say that's, so stay with tradition. I think that's what makes the most sense right now. Stick with tradition.
So I'm good with them. So can we
I'll make a
motion to accept
Yeah,
them?
well, I'm sure there'll be an official resolution for that
Okay.
at
Next
some
meeting,
point.
yep.
next
Okay,
meeting, right?
then we'll wait till next meeting.
Yep, so 2025 draft trustee fee schedule, sponsored by myself and Trustee Warner.
I know we had a couple questions about adding additional spots for kayak racks. I've been contacted by a couple people in the public about Oakhurst Road. I believe we have one or if not two of them there now. They would like to have a third one there because they're all full, and that was basically the what precipitated us basically about doing these kayak racks because it was very unorderly and unorganized, and by putting these kayak racks in specific areas, it basically cleans up the area, and the public is allowed to use them with a fee, and they don't need to drive them on their car. They can just go down there with their paddle and go paddling with their kayak or paddleboard. So I think they're a very good. It's a very good program, and I know we have some recommendations of expansion, right, Trustee Mara?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed quickly, the town was supposed to put a kayak rack in, Parks and Rec was supposed to put a kayak rack in it at Town Point. Once they removed all those vessels there, to clean that area up, and Ed and I both discussed it and thought that the trustees should take the ball because Parks and Rec kind of dropped it, and we put one at the, kind of right on the edge of the
pier.
the pier there, closer to the roadside a little bit, because people can just walk right to the sandy beach and watch.
Yeah,
I
that'd be a
think that
good.
would be a good location.
And then
Yeah, well, actually, one thing I've noticed, Baycrest Avenue in West Hampton, the rack is full and people are actually leaving their kayaks on the ground there. There's just the one rack with the 3 levels. But also, South Bay Avenue in Eastport by Trumpets there, that'd be a good location. I'm even thinking like Wildwood Lake might be another possible place. Like maybe people would like to, have access to Wildwood Lake with
I mean,
a kayak.
we only have a certain amount we can make in a season
Oh, yeah, no,
budget,
totally.
so let's
Yeah, but-
get feedback from the community.
Well, I would say
and
where they're
then
leaving them on the ground, we should definitely.
have one.
Well, Wildwood Lake, I know that would be a really good location, but is there going to be a parking issue there? I know historically during COVID there was a lot of use of that area, and there was a lot of concern about overuse of the area. And I know we have a beach there that accesses the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have parking that goes with that?
Town sticker parking, and Parks and Rec has had an attendant there this past year enforcing that regulation.
Okay.
And what's happened is it's really controlled the overuse of the beach. To the point
Okay.
where now the beach is, even on weekends, it's very sleepy again. Whereas on last year and previous years, weekend use was out of control. 300 people
Okay.
going to late night. But between, there's been a lot of community engagement. Like I said, Parks and Rec providing the attendant, as well as the police department having officer who is there to assist with that attendant has very much changed the complete nature of that beach. So it's
Okay.
much more relaxed and sleepy now. You know, it's the community around there. They want to have it. You know, no, I'm not going to talk about that because it's a digression. You know,
Yeah.
it's a
No,
whole
but
other thing.
as long as we have adequate parking in area, I would definitely be in favor of it.
Okay.
Because the whole premise behind this is have you go down initially, put your kayak in the kayak rack, and then just either bike there, walk there, or maybe take a car with a few of your friends. So, you know, we don't have to have the kayaks on top of the car all the time. Make it easier for people to access the, you know, the waters.
Well, one thing we could consider too is like, you know, let's say on a trial basis we put one down there and no one uses it. Well, next year we just pick it up and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, they're very mobile.
What was there a kayak rack for Mill Pond that I remember seeing early on with Ann's threads or emails or something like
It's
that?
not on the list, so if you wanted
It's
to put
not
one.
on the
I
list.
Middle
don't-
Pond?
Yeah, over by the park there. Was that ever
By
ever
Corwin
like a
Park?
consideration? Yeah.
Because of the blue-green algae, I think we deferred
Just
not to.
deferred it.
Exactly.
Because of,
So
yeah.
we'll let her
exactly.
know then. Let's
I would let that go. I would add
When we have
Baycrest.
people that come to us and ask for a kayak location, and we get, you know, and we have community support, I think we should promote it. But,
Yeah,
you know, let's not.
I do have one at Point Road in Flanders too. There was people that's a big parking area in a highly used area. And a few people have asked me over the last summer about it. So I like to, you know, maybe definitely put one there because it's has the parking, it has a nice launching ramp, it has a nice dock, and it's a beautiful, you know, the headwaters of the Peconic Bay.
Yeah,
So,
it's gorgeous.
I mean, it's your area, but I think it would be a
Which spot was that?
Point Road.
Point Road.
So, yeah, I'd like to include that.
So how many are we adding on now?
So I have Town Point and 35 Crescent Street on the list as of right now.
Yeah.
And then before November 18th meeting with the resolution, I'm gonna add a third
yeah.
rock to Oakhurst Road.
Yeah.
Point Road, Flanders.
Yep.
South Bay Avenue, Eastport. What's the verdict on Wildwood Lake? Yes.
This,
I would like to, I mean,
I'd
I,
like to try one.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shore Road, Remsenburg. Was that another one?
Sure, Remsenburg would be a good spot too. I think maybe. Yeah.
Need a
lot of-
second.
That's 7.
You need a second rack at Baycrest. Is that what you're saying?
Possibly, probably, yeah. The current rack is full.
Well, you definitely need a
They,
second
they
rack.
definitely need a
Yeah.
second rack.
You definitely need a second rack. So it's already on the list, but you're gonna have to.
And
do it.
Shore Road, is there parking, adequate parking there for the public?
Well,
to-
we have our trustee dockage over there.
Yes,
So
yep.
there's significant parking
Okay.
already.
Then that would be a good area.
Mhm.
Either in that marina or on the end of the road.
And then the location that Tim was just cleaning up in Noyak. Remember where all the kayaks were on the makeshift one where the
Yes,
swings?
the
yes.
swings? Do we want to put a location there?
Cedar?
35 Crescent.
Yeah.
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 It's on here.
Oh, it's on
Okay.
there. All right.
Yep.
35 Crescent Street.
Okay.
That was the one with the.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
all right.
so where don't we have any kayak racks now?
So
Oh.
let's just not. Yeah.
And Triton
That's right.
in, over on the beach. It's
Is it
on
the
here.
list?
Yeah,
already
it's on the list. Yep.
I think Tim's doing one for
Okay.
this upcoming
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
there. 'Cause that got
Yep.
approved last year.
Yeah, and I talked to him last week about breaking down the old ones that were too high and reconfiguring
Yes.
them to the lower ones, which
He's
people
gonna do
applaud.
that, Yeah.
Yep.
What about like Pike's Beach on Dune Road down in West Hampton there? There's that
Mm.
Bayside, which is a beautiful spot.
That's Parks Department.
Let's just.
Let's
slow
just
and
yeah,
steady.
let's yeah,
Slow
let's
and
yeah.
steady.
You can't. You could
I'm
just
just
keep
throwing it out
right.
there.
Like I
Yeah,
said, you could just
yeah.
keep
No.
right on going. And
Yeah.
it's not.
This is 8 for next
It
year.
gets beyond
Yeah, that's
manageability.
enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
You can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
I think we're going to have to do a good guy letter, as we call them these days, to the commercial users of our facilities, so that we get a better handle on when barges and tugboats are coming in, so that we know, who's there, how long they're going to be there, what's going on,
You're getting heat.
and the bay constables can check and make sure there's no damage done. We're spending a lot of money on
Correct.
maintaining facilities, so I think we're going to have to do a dozen letters or so.
Yep.
And send it out there. There's a fee associated with this, and there's accountability. There's also liability. So we're gonna have to drill down on that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think we're good.
Yeah,
All right, we good with that?
Yep,
Other than
yep,
that, we good?
yep.
Okay. So let's move on to the next topic here. It would be Trustee McLaughlin, Woolly Pond Emergency services boat.
So, upon review, it turns out there's extra slip in Willie Pond and I know we discussed as a board the possibility of having North come in and do have one of the fire boats there. So that's why we invited Rich can come today to speak to us to see if they'd be interested to have one of their boats at Willie Pond for emergency services access. So, join.
Special Counsel Joseph Lombardo.
Good afternoon. There is a slip that is available. The people on the wait list had been canvassed. There was a negative reply as to taking it, so there would be the space available to the North Sea Department for a dive boat or a fire rescue boat.
Public safety.
Public safety, I think, is a good reason for us to utilize that space in that manner.
Yeah, I'm all for public safety.
Rich, you want to say a few words?
That would be great. Well, you got to speak from there.
Podium.
You got to speak from there. You got to state your name for the record. Sign in.
Richard King, Board of Fire Commissioners, North Sea. So sign in, make it official.
Yeah, you're official. You got to make it official.
And so we did a test on the boats, the timing on the trailers, and it takes 32 minutes from the harbor we're in and 16 on Woolly Pond. But if we fast track, in other words, have the slip, we'll probably cut it in half because we have 4 members of the department work at the marina. And also I'm up the road and a couple other guys are very nearby. So in an emergency, that boat would get right out and someone's life could be saved.
That's definitely could be
then-
life or death.
And then also you said that I was under the assumption that the dive team runs from the substation anyway,
Yes,
so that's even a faster
it's
response.
another faster.
Yeah.
Having boats in both places is going to really enhance our.
Historically, did you have a boat there years past, or was this?
No.
Okay, you didn't. Okay.
So this would be
We
good.
might have parked it there once, but
Okay.
This would be good for the district.
I think it's excellent for the one. I always say one life, it's worth whatever.
Of course.
I think this
And with all these kayak racks, man, we're going to need these boats.
Let's hope not.
just adding a little.
It's true.
Fire department's gonna have to get a kayak.
Yeah, we're going to have to have it. We need a rack.
Look, you know, it's a good point because, and that's why it's important to have identification on kayaks because you know sometimes you end up
You know, I also would like to make mention is, you know, the Coast Guard is really losing its support, and they have a very limited support for Peconic. Just the timing and reinforcement, and you know, I know that the North Sea, you know, Marine Division has helped considerably in some rescues out in Peconic. You know, like especially with their what is it where you guys can pick up bodies from a distance on the front of that boat?
Oh, yes.
Thermal imaging.
The thermal imaging and
Thermal
stuff. I mean,
imaging
it's,
cameras,
it's
yeah, they're great.
incredible, you know, and our Marine Patrol doesn't even have that. So it's a very good system that North Sea has been able to implement successfully.
No, we didn't.
So, yeah.
The other
We've spoken
positive is
about
more
we didn't.
guys express interest when we have
No, I
this
don't
kind of
think we did.
access and there's some enthusiasm now where we, you know how it wanes.
Yeah.
Volunteers is tough.
Yes.
But
I don't know if that was.
so this could be a home run all the way around.
Great.
We're here to
Yeah.
help, so.
Thank you.
Well, in light of the canal locks being broken and the ability for the Coast Guard to access the Peconics, this is really important to have more emergency boats with quicker responses.
How long is that down?
It's
It's
fixed
now. It's down for
But
2 to
that
3
wasn't
weeks.
that was
A month.
a month.
Yeah.
that's-
It's a long
anything
time.
can happen.
Yeah.
That is a long time.
And
Yeah.
just to receive the formal request,
I did.
We got a letter, right?
I did.
Yes.
I got a letter. Yep.
And you came to breathe some life into that letter, and we really appreciate that.
No problem. I appreciate
Thank you
inviting
Very
me.
much. I have a lot of respect for all the first responders and
Thank you.
firemen. My son is a volunteer fireman. He's an FDNY as well, and appreciate all of the time and energy and training and all you do for the community.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
this. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Public hearings. We have a public hearing. Notice of public hearing on amendment of Blue Book A340, amending the management and parks of the waters of the town of Southampton, Article 5, Section 36, moorings. I'll make a motion.
Second that.
Open it. Seconded by Parsons and McLaughlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Who is going to speak to this? Is this a special counsel Lombardo speaking to this?
It was a groan. That was a growl.
The bones are getting old. Okay. Okay, I'm looking, did we, Jess, did we do a notice of adoption for this?
If you didn't, it could be put off till the next meeting. Right?
Yeah, because I did not bring my file for it, so the exact language of
I have.
the.
I put one in everyone's packet. Do you want to take this?
Oh, good.
Yeah. Here.
Wait, I have, okay,
Yeah, I guess there's not a notice of adoption on.
okay, no, I
We'll
just
put it
needed,
on for, yeah.
no, I just needed to get the actual language of the,
You've got it.
basically what this, resolution, the hearing would do, would be to amend the Blue Book to allow the trustees to set up wait lists for mooring areas when the trustee board, in their opinion, deems that it's becoming overcrowded. We used to have more regulations on moorings. We've sort of eased them in the years past. But like everything, every good thing, it can be overused or taken advantage of. And just like you wanted to put a fireboat over in Woolly Pond, public safety should trump a lot of considerations that we have to look at. And too many moorings can be a hazard to navigation and could be a safety hazard. We own the bottom. We need to make sure that it's accessible for everybody, but in the most safe manner possible.
Right. I think we did have some spots where things weren't situated, with enough space between it, and I think under certain wind conditions, they were actually touching each other.
Yeah,
There was some issues. I got some phone calls on.
But we used to have a lot more oversight as to where moorings were placed, where it's been a little bit more relaxed. And we just need to have an ability to control and put a halt to the growth.
Yeah, we're going to have to definitely take a closer look at this stuff because, as you say, public safety is important.
Yep.
And people need to come to us for permits, and we need to cite these things in reasonable places. And a wait list would be helpful in the areas where there is congestion, where we just can't go beyond.
We've put wait lists in the past, but this was also partially a cleanup of the mooring section, just to make it a little easier in the future for us to be able to do it.
The first four that we have on the wait list, Red Creek Pond, Mill Creek, Noyak Creek, and Woolly Pond, were on a historical wait list when I was first on the board.
Yeah.
And it was a well-used wait list because a lot of people were on that list and would need, to find the ability to get on there once the people basically got off there. But over time, people lost their interest in moorings. I don't know why, but now
Those are
the
the
marina,
cormorants.
but now the marinas are so full, and it's so costly to have your boat at a marina. A lot of people are revisiting these moorings and starting to use them much more readily.
Right. And I think, again, it's something that we should be able to make the kind of changes that we need to without a lot of prolonged hearings and things like that. This will just speed it and streamline the ability for you guys to do a good job. Continue doing the good job you've been doing.
Yeah. Anybody else have any commentary on this? Anybody in the public like to speak? Anybody on Zoom want to opine on the public hearing topic of the mooring wait list?
We'll just also speak quickly. I think a lot of people faded on because if you need insurance for a mooring, that wasn't in the past. That wasn't really needed. Now currently we require that the vessel be insured in order to acquire a mooring permit. So,
They gotta have insurance anywhere now.
Yeah, if the boat sinks and ends up on the
And I
shore
know one
somewhere.
of the issues with specifically Woolly Pond, people would have moorings in there and they wouldn't have their boat on there. They would lease it out, and
sub it
that's
out.
that's not acceptable. If it's a mooring, it's your mooring. Your boat has to be designated with on the ball with your permit and everything, so that it can be properly inspected by the bay constables.
I think it was 4 years ago when I first got my mooring, we were talking about relaxing of the restrictions. Like, it used to be the bait constable was supposed to show up when you were actually putting it in place, and they did away with that. They just said, oh, it's fine, you know. But I'm a big advocate for moorings. I think they're fantastic. You know, it's
Yeah,
a
as
local-
long as they're hauled and the chain is checked and the swivels are checked and the cotter pins are all banded off, you know, like
Yeah,
you don't really want rotten
Listen,
steel while holding boats.
We're gonna have to
Yeah.
take a closer look
Yeah,
at this
it's
again.
gotta be. We gotta inspect the moorings.
Then we may have to change
Yeah.
procedures. That's a different, discussion, but
Yeah.
that's a topic for another discussion. In addition to this waitlist situation, stay with the thought, write down your notes, and then we
Yeah.
may have to change and go back to all the procedures that we had because of more pressure on this whole scenario.
Well, also as the costs of going to a marina and getting a slip become out of the reach of a lot of middle class people, boaters, they're going to look more and more to moorings, and we may have to re-implement some of the old regulations that we relaxed.
well, as the mooring program has evolved, originally most people would just put their own moorings in with the inspection by the bay constable, but a lot of people now hire a commercial mooring hauler and, they have put them in and haul them out, because a lot of these moorings are 200 pounds or 150 pounds, so they do not have the capability of handling them or removing them. So, but I mean, maybe there should be some kind of guidance on, when you put your mooring in, a quick inspection by somebody or some entity that to assure that the mooring, the chain, the tackle, and everything is in good shape for the boating season.
I mean, especially since we own the bottom land, and if there's an accident, there is potential liability that could be viewed.
Right. All right. That's topic for a different
Yep.
a different day. Anybody else? Anybody on Zoom with their hand up? Nobody here with their hand up? All right. I will make a motion to close this public hearing.
I'll second it.
Seconded, Trustee Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public portion. Anybody on Zoom want to address the board for 3 minutes for the public portion? Thank you. All right. Nobody here wants to address the board for public portion? You? No? Okay. Let's go right to the application for permits. Board of Trustees hereby waives a public hearing on the following applications because it has been determined that the following projects do not raise a significant degree of public interest or public input is not needed to aid in the decision-making process. First one is Trustee Resolution 2024-293, first renewal application of Debbie Tennyson Feinstein at 17 Weesig Avenue East, Quogue, tax map 900 342-01-006. I recommend its renewal.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Actually, was this a renewal or was it? It's a new one anyway, okay. Trustee Resolution 2024-294, application of Karen Scarmazzino, 12 Tarpon Road, East Quogue, tax map 900 362-3-39. Recommend its approval.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
I've got Trustee Resolution 2024-295. This is Richard Romano, 9 Hollywood Drive, Hampton Bays, tax map 900-255-1-7. Recommend its approval.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye. Trustee Resolution 2024-296, application for Ocean View X LLC, 16 Ocean View Drive, Shinnecock Hill, Suffolk County, tax map 900-271-1-39, body of water, Shinnecock Bay. We went over this at work session. I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Trustee Resolution 2024-297, first renewal of application of Stephen P. Hickey, 1377 Meadow Lane, Village of Southampton, Suffolk County, tax map 900-22-1-15, body of water, Dug Lagoon, off Shinnecock Bay. Recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second, Trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 298/2024. This is a, we're calling them an application of Alfred Bowen for Cedar Crest Road, the transaction 2024-222. This was adopted, it's a brief, amendment from last time, and just a change in I believe, minor changes as described in the application, so it's a map number 900-58-5-11. Can I have,
A second?
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
I have trustee resolution 2024-299. It's 3 new fish trap bike location applications for Aaron Rossi, located in Mecox Bay.
I believe special counsel
Or
would
you
like
have
to
to make an amendment?
make
on
an
this?
amendment to the proposal.
Yes, I believe, go ahead.
Yes, we'll need to add at the last resolve clause, further resolve that these bikes must not be installed during the active, we need to add the word federal after active, federal waterfowl hunting season.
Okay.
Okay, so I will make the motion to amend it to include the federal active hunting season.
I'll second.
Seconded, trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
And I will make a recommendation
To adopt the
to
resolution
adopt the
as amended.
resolution as amended.
I'll second that.
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so she's been amended and adopted. I have trustee resolution 2024-300. Third-party vendor, resolution authorizing a third-party vendor to dredge Carter Creek in East Quogue, as we discussed earlier today.
I will second that.
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
This is trustee resolution 2024-301. This is a resolution authorizing the dredge of Bay Point Property 101 Long and Short Beach Highway, Sag Harbor, by the town of Southampton.
Second that.
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee resolution 2024-302 authorizes the purchase of clam gauges. We've purchased them in the past. We found a new supplier, so we will hopefully get this passed, and we'll have new clam gauges for the 2025 recreational clamming season. I need a second on that.
Second.
Seconded by trustee McLaughlin and Parsons at the same time, all in favor?
Aye. 2024-303, recall and amend resolution 2024 trustees 87 for Intersides Fish Cove Bridge. I need a second on that.
I'll second that.
Seconded, trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we got trustee resolution 2024-304, amend the 2024 adopted budget for legal fees. So we're gonna have to have available fund balance and appropriate $50,000 towards legal
I'll
fees.
second that.
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee resolution 2024-305, amend the 2024 adopted budget for consultant. Additional need for consultant line to pay attorneys and consultants, whereas as per the board of trustees, additional $20,000 is needed to cover outstanding expenses.
I'll second that.
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
We've got trustee resolution 2024-306. It's a notice of public hearing on amendment of rules and regulations for management and parks of the town waters, considering amending the management. Article 18, section 80 and 81, and resolve that the board of trustees will set a meeting date, a public hearing date for Monday, November 18th, 2024 at 1 p.m. You
Second.
want to discuss? You want
Yeah.
Joe, before we
Alright.
do it, I want him to.
We have one addition in terms of an edit for a word addition and 2 typos that need to be deleted. The typos would be under section 2 amendment. First one, under 80E, delete the word add next to the word deleting. And in the proposed change to that section, should be the word fee added into after designated to read now. Every application submitted to the trustee's office shall be accompanied by the designated fee in effect on the date of submission. Another change, and the last change, would be the next paragraph down, Article 8, Section 80M, delete the word add again, as you similarly did above. So amended by deleting the stricken.
So-
I apologize for the
Right,
typos.
so I'd like to make a motion to amend as the special
I'll
counsel has
second
indicated. Seconded by trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
And then I would like to make a motion to amend the wording and set the public hearing date for November 18th.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
It'll be published in the paper and anybody can come out and speak.
Trustee Resolution 2024-307. Warrant number 18 of 2024 for the trustees. Warrant for the 18 for the amount of $16,752.83. The check register reads as Automotive Rentals, $560.49. Bobcat, Long Island, Medford, $8,133.09. Constructs LLC, $85.25. Elm Financial Services, $2,057.83. W.W. Granger, Inc., $2,865.20. Joseph R. Lombardo, $3,000, and PSEG LI, $50.97 for a total of $16,752.83. I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
All right, so that concludes that. I would like to just build on what Ed was talking about. We are well underway with our Shinnecock and partial Clark Canal dredge project that we worked hard on to get the Army Corps of Engineers to come in and do. Bolstering up the outer beaches. We bolstered up, an area at the Diana Bay side, and now we're bolstering up trustee-owned beach south of the Shagwon Marina in Hampton Bays, which is coming out very nicely, and
Yeah.
the channels are getting opened up very nicely, which is important. And I'd like to thank all that collaborated with us on being successful with this. It's important thoroughfare between the Shinnecock Canal and the Shinnecock Inlet, which is being worked on now. We saw, how badly it affected our navigability, safety, and commerce in town when the Shinnecock Canal locks were broken for the month. And when you don't have good navigability south of that area, that's a big problem for our community. And the fact that this is getting done right now is a big plus.
Tremendous amount of commerce that comes and goes through that canal and
it's well
the
traveled.
intercoastal. Yeah, and some very large vessels come and go, and there's nothing worse than hitting bottom and bending, your prop shaft or your rudder, and or driving it through the bottom. And
Well, there's a
to
lot
rin-
of tide moving in there too, so
Yes.
like people who don't have good boating skills, you get
Yes.
swung around pretty easily.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's a good project, and we advocated very strongly for it. And I feel that the board was heard very well with our local knowledge and all our input. So I want to thank everybody that, like Scott said, that were part of this whole process. It takes a village to build it.
Exactly. Work together, teamwork. Anybody else have anything they want to add
I
before
just
we?
have a quick question on the, I have been getting some questions from the community about what the status is as far as the pumping of spoil on the county beach, or by the bowl, for want of a better word, the west side of the jetty.
I thought 38,000 went over there.
Did 38,000, that, was it completed?
Yes, it was
Yeah, it was
completed,
completed.
and that was the
completed,
dredge.
okay.
That was
Yeah,
the
because-
dredge that's doing
Shinnecock
Well, I
West.
knew it was, but I just didn't know if the whole project was complete,
Yes.
because there's still kind of a lot of exposed.
It did not go very far down the
Yeah.
beach, and the bowl.
The
I
pilings are still there. And
Yes.
Well,
the rocks are still
Right,
there.
the thing, right, so, but the reason that is that it was not intended to be like a beach nourishment project.
Yeah.
It was making the best use out of clearing out the congressionally approved channels, and that's it.
No.
So once the material
Was you?
is used, that's it, that's all that you have. You can't just keep going because you want to feel it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So they were contracted for 38,000 roughly cubic yards of material to come out of the old federal channel, the
Yeah.
old Army Corps channel, west of Ponquag Bridge, down in that Ram Pasture area, south of Ram Pasture, to pump up to the area that you're talking about. Just like there was a set amount of cubic yardage that was calculated to come out of the Ogden Pond area in the Quad Canal to get pumped over to the Diana Bay side. But once that channel is cleaned out, that's it. They're done. They're not going beyond and outside of the scope of what they were engaged to do. And this one here, again, it's cleaning out southern end of Shinnecock Canal, where you make the bend in the no-wake zone, start making your way to the east to get yourself off to to the other channels. And once that amount of cubic yardage is met and that channel is clear, as it was, intended to be, they're done with that. So they're not there. So yeah, you need more material for the bowl area, but it's gonna have to come from, different sources.
The county is gonna do it, not, the federal government, the county is going to do a dredging on the East Cut, I believe, next year. I was out on the boat with them last summer doing depth soundings and survey, and there's quite a bit of material on the north end of the East Cut, which is gonna be pumped to that very same area.
Right, so that wasn't like an intent to we're gonna do a beach nourishment on the ocean. It was
No.
let's put the dredge spoils in the most sensible place where they'll do the most good under the circumstances. And it was like 98% sand. It was good sand.
Yeah.
So made best use of the resource, the amount that we had. Can't go beyond that. Anything else? Anything else?
Today's the first day of
Space golf season.
season.
I like mine sauteed.
Yeah.
I'd like mine to exist.
We'll see how it went.
I'm being optimistic.
I'm going tomorrow. I'm trying to take Eric with me.
All right, well, I like mine sauteed.
About a pound.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Anything else?
A harder
Mark?
pound.
You got something? Nothing?
Alright.
Anybody else? All right, I think we have like a few more minutes of executive to go into, so I will make a motion to close this meeting and go into executive session to continue discussing potential litigation and personnel issues.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Scott, are we doing the